Welcome to the PAC Show, the show that brings you all the highlights, the lowlights, the reviews, the previews, the news, and the interviews from rugby here in Australia and around the world.
We lost every game.
Always need to be heard, these bastards.
What? Puncho! What is happening? Samu Kremi! Samu, how you doing, brother? What is happening?
He's in the car.
Yes, the boys. Thank you, everyone.
We're the best of friends.
Hilarious.
Yeah, one I won't remember. I will remember.
Yeah, we got him!
Can't be good at it. That's the one thing I'll leave you with.
Hey, welcome to the PAC Rugby Show, ladies and gentlemen. My name's J-Ball. We're coming to you from the DoubleTake studios as per usual. And as per usual, I'm fizzing at the bunghole because once again, we're packed to the rafters up in here with not only very special guests on the panel, but also joining us this evening. Tonight, we've got Wallaby halfback Nick White joining us. We've got Bella Mckenzie all the way from London is going to be dialing in at about 7 o'clock. On top of that as well, we've got a very special guest who's going to be joining us with some very special news in regards to the PAC Rugby Show. But before we get to Whitey, who's sitting on the blower right now, I just want to introduce our panellists for this evening, as per usual. We've got our starters, the Rangers, Quirky and Dow.
As good as it gets, boys.
Oh, man, I am G'd up, tell you that much. And on the battlers bench, as per usual, all on his own from this evening, it's Big Fat Das.
J-Ball.
That was an insane leg cross, man.
Thank you.
Love it, because you're bringing in the talent, mate. Whoa. I'm very excited, as you can tell. Let's just get straight into it, shall we? On the blower right now, joining us all the way from Canberra, it's the Wallabies halfback himself, Nick White. Whitey, how you doing, brother? Oh, shit, it's frozen.
Oh, there he is.
Thanks, good.
No, there he is. Whitey, you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, mate.
Say something, mate.
How you doing, Whitey?
Good, mate. I was just sitting there for ages. I hit refresh. I was like, this is weird.
Man, I was like, man, this is a really good intro. We're feeling it. Whitey. Shit, we lost it.
I was watching your stuff on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, there's your first
That's why he
mistake.
froze. Panicked. Yeah, this happened.
No, mate, Whitey, mate, thanks so much for joining us, all the way from Canberra, as we said. First and foremost, we were trying to get you on the show a couple of weeks ago. You were keen, but then sort of died out, obviously, because you were busy negotiating and working out a few of the little deals, but recently signed with the Western Force, mate. Absolutely huge, and you must be excited to be heading over.
I am, yeah. Sorry, I went a bit radio silent on you for a week.
Yeah, I felt bad.
He takes it personally.
Things were getting a little tight around when it was going to come out, but mate, stoked with it. I just to let you in, like a couple of weeks ago, I'd kind of come to the realisation that kind of Australian rugby, that was going to be it. And then I'd told Brumbies I was leaving, and the Force thing all kind of come to fruition pretty late. So I'm genuinely stoked that I'm able to stay in Rugby Australia, and so thankful for the Force to be able to work something out to go over there, which they're building something pretty special, and I feel like I've got a bit to offer, and it should be good for all parties.
Bloody oath. But I just want to ask you, Whitey, you said yourself you've been there since, I think it was 2008, 15-odd years later, you've made the decision to leave. The only Super Rugby franchise in Australia I've ever known is the Brumbies. Very successful. This decision had to have been incredibly tough to sign with the Western Force.
Yeah, massive. Like the decision, like the whole process has been going for a bit over 6 months. I feel like it's been weighing on me a fair bit. But yeah, like it wasn't something taken lightly at all, and bloody tough. Like telling the boys, I got a bit emotional, and the club. So telling a guy like Gary Quinslivin, who's the heartbeat of the club, to go in on my day off and sit in his little dungeon and let him know I'm going to head somewhere else. And yeah, mate, it's bizarre. It's all I've known for a long time, and like all the opportunities I've had in rugby, and this one included, like being able to go to the Western Force, all started because Brumbies took a punt on me in 2008. The old kid out of Campbelltown at a little league school there, chopping at ankles, and yeah, like Owen Finnegan saw something, and I stuck around long enough, and I've been able to travel the world and still giving me the opportunity. So thankful to them. Like they've opened up a whole life that I never would have known.
Mate, like now you've ripped the Band-Aid off and you've gone through that process. Like, was there anything that really attracted you to make the move over to Perth? And are you sort of excited to what they're doing over there? And like, what I mean by attract, was there something that really caught your eye that sort of thought, I want to lock in over there? I know it's an opportunity, but was there anything that really caught your eye?
Yeah, there's a few layers of it. For the family, the ability to stay in Australia. I've got 3 little boys, and that's attractive. Living in Perth is phenomenal. Like, I don't have to sell it to anyone really. Like, it's a good place to live. The rugby side of things, I'm excited to be a part of the building they're doing over there. Simon Cron's got there, and you're starting to see it at the moment. Like, they played really well on the weekend against the Drua, and they're the 4th best side at home at the moment. They're a bloody good side, and I look forward to being able to take what I've learnt from 3 different clubs that have all been pretty successful, and take it over and be a part of creating a program that wants people to come to Perth and to get better and become a Wallaby, and that's why I'm going there. Simon Cron's over there. I spoke to him plenty. I've spoken to boys at the Tars who absolutely rave about him. Guys at Toyota in Japan, I have nothing but good things to say about him, and all the guys at the Force at the moment absolutely loving him. So it's obviously doing something right, and I'm keen to be a part of that and create something that, like a program over there that makes players better, and then, hopefully see some Wallabies from out of there and the Force playing some really good footy. So there's an opportunity for me to pass on a bit of what I know and also be a part of it and do something special over there.
And you mentioned family before. Basically, you could have written your own ticket anywhere in the world, obviously, starting for the Wallabies, at that level. What is it that made you want to stay in Australian rugby? Why Australia? Why for the next couple of years?
Yeah, look, I'm pretty passionate about this. Like, I've always seen that guys hit a certain age and, one, they go overseas because they probably want to, but the other is they kind of I feel like they're pushed that way. I feel like older guys, like I'd love to have seen Dave Dennis beat the Waratahs over the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was awesome that Greg Holmes came back and was at the Force for a while. I was at a couple of clubs overseas where a lot of the older guys ran the change room and kept the consistency and kind of ran that, ran the day-to-day around clubs, and a lot of young kids reap the benefits of it. And I think in Australian rugby, it would benefit from a guy like James Slipper sticking around a while for the younger guys to learn off. It'd be awesome to have like Michael Hooper stick around until he hangs them up, and there's been so many guys over the last years, but they hit 30 and they're off and they're overseas and they're still playing some good years. Scott Fardy at Leinster, man, he was unreal. How good would have he been an Australian side? And I understand we're tight for cash and can't keep everyone, but it just seems like a lot of good experience goes, and I'd love to be able to pass what I know and what I've learnt, and I wish a whole heap of older guys had passed it on to me earlier, to a whole lot of kids, because we've got a heap of young Super Rugby sides and a really young Wallaby squad, so there's a fair few there that if they all just kind of disappear, it'd be a real shame.
Here, mate. Get me back.
Mate,
Nice try, Quirky.
it must make these final 5 or 6 weeks with the Brumbies even more special for you.
Yeah, big time. Obviously puts a finite kind of full stop on it, doesn't it? And I'm getting into like, oh geez, there's only 6 Tuesdays left. It's a little bit exciting, though.
The coat hangers. Yeah.
But, mate, yeah, it does. It is exciting where we're going at the moment, how we're tracking, but it certainly has that feel about it that you've got to leave no stone unturned, and kind of like to think I'll be pretty motivated to get it done anyway, but extra motivated to make sure everyone's leaving no stone unturned, that we give it a real crack, because there is a special feeling, like guys like Pete Samu, they're going to miss him as well. This squad's not going to be together again next year, and we've got a good squad at the moment and we're doing pretty well, so it'd be a shame not to throw the full kitchen sink at it.
Bloody oath, Whitey. And the thing is, you've actually got experience playing in the top 14 with Montpellier, and then obviously in the Premiership with Exeter. I mean, you look at the crowds and you look at the competition they've got over there compared to, say, Super Rugby here. What is it that they do different, be it on the pitch or off it, that really sets them apart from Super Rugby?
Look, for, top 14 is just different, completely different again. Like there's a few comparisons you can make with the Premiership. Top 14, obviously, a big game over there. Like I absolutely love scrums. Like I was talking to someone the other day that they were phenomenal there. I was feeding one of my first scrums, and the crowd just started slowly clapping. And the longer the scrum went, the louder the chant got. And I was like, oh my God, they love scrums.
I love it.
Yeah. So the real appreciation for the game there, and it's different. It's big. It's a slog fest, and it's pretty entertaining. And then the Prem itself, it's a little bit different. Obviously, going through their own problems at the moment. But what I found really interesting was I always thought, there's a perception that you go to England and it's just it's a slow game. A lot of kicking, a lot of scrums, mauls, all that. But it's actually played at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon more often than not. You got a dry deck and they throw it around quite a bit. Like the number of passes in the Prem probably a bit more than Super Rugby, like a fair bit more. The ball in play is probably quite a bit more. It's not as fast and ferocious, but they're kind of going end to end and the ball's always in play. And that was a little bit different, something I kind of enjoyed and could appreciate the difference there. And I guess that 3 o'clock kickoff for some reason worked for them. I know with TV rights we've got to play at 8 o'clock at night, but you come down to GIO at 8 o'clock at night and she's going to be dewy and it's going to be a different game to what you see at club rugby where they're throwing it around right at 3 o'clock and you see helter-skelter end-to-end footy. We got a good game on the weekend, obviously Mother's Day down here, 2:45 kickoff, and you saw what we could do with those sort of conditions. It's bloody fun. Both teams come out of the sheds going, wow, it's a good day to run. So, unfortunately, the game is a little bit different. Eden Park, the Christchurches, these sort of places that are, not making too many excuses, but it creates a different sort of game to what you see in the Prem. I kind of like the messiness of a slippery ball and creates more contest. But I know people are looking for a clean game at the moment. They compare it to league. They want clean. But, our game is messy, man. Everything's a contest. And so it should be. And you make the ball a little bit greasy and it just makes everything just a bit more of a contest. And that's what I love about our game. I like, here we go, I'll put myself out there, but league is like a slow game of tennis where it's kind of like the ball just moves up and back until someone stuffs up. And that applies pressure, whereas our game is just a contest. That the line out, the scrum, the first breakdown, everything's a contest, and I love that, and I love it when it's greasy and it's like that.
Bloody oath. Yeah. Have you ever been tested for psychopathic tendencies or anything, Nick? Because
he hasn't blinked.
I love it when it's breezy and I love getting in there. And everyone else is like, that sucks, man.
Big dudes running at me.
Don't forget to blink. Mate, speaking of Messi, which is my whole life, but speaking about the Premier League over there, especially sort of, it's suited your game style, obviously, with the passing and the kicking. And when I mean by Messi, a 3 o'clock game usually means for an early shower and an early beer. So that's what I sort of meant by getting Messi. But, mate, you obviously went out a bit of a winner with Exeter and you came close a few times there before. Mate, is it that hard to win over the Premier League? I've always admired what it is. And, did you find that it was a real hard one to win? Because you see a few teams knocking it on the head a few, but for the others, they find hard to grab.
Yeah, obviously joined a side that was already doing pretty well, Exeter. The summer I joined them, they just won the comp. We went on a trot of 4 more finals after that, and Saracens at the time, obviously got busted cheating looking back. But at the time,
a couple of extra dollar dues.
Yeah, and that's a whole other situation again. It's a tricky one with Europe over there. Obviously, Saracens got done for cheating in the Prem, but the salary cap that top 14 work on is something silly, like 20 million. Then they've got to play. Saracens have got to play them and are capped at £5 million, and then the URC, Leinsters, and these they're working at 14 million or something silly as well. So, I didn't mind that Saracens were cheating because it was an English team competing in Europe, and they needed to do that to be able to compete. Obviously, didn't like it from an Exeter point of view where we played them because they had guys like Will Skelton on the bench, Richard Wigglesworth, all these international players they brought on and took the game away from us. So we lost 2 against them. Then they got busted and we went all the way and did the double that year, which was a bloody good year. And then had a couple more finals as well. But a good stint. Obviously, they're going through a bit of a change at the moment, but they had a phenomenal core young groups come through that club from the local area, which is pretty spectacular, really, to have. Like, I think it was about 8 blokes all in the starting team, all from the Exeter area. So that was pretty amazing.
Absolutely. And I want to get to know, I guess, you a little bit more. Obviously, we see you as the ultimate competitor on the field. And at 32, 33 years of age, you don't look like you're slowing down anytime soon. But how do you stay on top of your game? How do you stay that fierce competitor? How do you stay, hungry to succeed? Obviously, you've got 2 years at the Force. You'll be 35 at that point. You know what I mean? I can't imagine you slowing down throughout this process.
I think so. I appreciate that. And I love how you use the word fierce competitor like that. It's, to be honest, like, I see what people think. They think, like the way I play. Absolutely hate me. And it's just competitiveness. The guys I play against, the older I get, I make sure I catch up with them after a game. I leave it on the field and all that. But in terms of, look, I think it is just that. Like, I compete in everything. Like, if it's something small in the gym, like, I still want to win it. I know guys get the shits because we'll be doing a warm-up and it's just a drill, but I want to win it. If it's a game, I want to
you're
win.
that guy.
Yeah.
I thought you would have been.
Yeah, and it's just who I am. I can't switch it off, unfortunately. Like, if I'm playing a game against the kids, I struggle to lose.
That actually bleeds into my question, mate. A father of 3, give us some insight as to what you're like away from the footy field.
Right, it's funny. Like, I nothing like you'd imagine what I am. I guess seeing me on the footy field, I think I'm quite different. And they've been a real blessing in disguise. Helped me. I feel like my career's gotten so much better since I've met my wife and had kids. Just the ability to switch off and get balance in my life. Like, I guess you guys hearing now, like, I'm a bit of a rugby nose. Like, I love it. Can get too wrapped up in it at times, and a good way to switch off is coming home. They don't really care what's happened at training or if I've won or not.
Here, Dad, take this shitty nappy on the way through. Pass that to the bin, bud.
Do it quickly.
Yeah.
So, mate, they've been unreal and it's been so good. And I guess like it. I'm not competitive. That's the wrong word, but I consistently challenge myself as well to be a better dad, be a better husband as well. Because that's something I seem to be all right at rugby, but that's something I need to work on a fair bit.
Bloody oath. Well, you touched on it before. You will be 35 when you wrap up at the Western Force. Whether or not you proceed further with your playing career after that, but obviously you're going to have your eye on your post-playing career. What does that look like? Do you want to stay in the game? Is there a media side that you want to work down? Like, what does it look like to you, your post-playing career?
That's a good question, mate. I don't know. Like, at 35, I don't think I'll be hanging them up at that point. But that's me now. What I'm like at that age, I don't know. But like, I look at guys overseas. Richard Wigglesworth was playing for Leicester, won the Prem at 39. Danny Care's still playing good footy at 36, 37. There's guys out there. So if you look after your body, invest into it, I feel like you can keep going, and certainly that's the plan. But post-rugby, I would like to stay in rugby, whether that's coaching or just helping out in some way. I'm not sure, but certainly people seem to, over the last few years, keep pushing coaching. And it's hopefully not too soon.
Competitive coach, that's all we need.
Yeah. Mate, I could be a great blow-up in the box like Craig Bellamy.
Yeah, bloody oath, like Desi Hasler smashing the door off the dressing shed sort of stuff.
Yeah, but I also think there's place for, I guess, for a few guys leaving the game straight away in media. That bridge between where the game's at the moment, and knowing guys. Like, I feel like there's. Sometimes you can, when guys put the mic in front of young guys, they don't feel comfortable. But when, I guess, they know someone who's played with them, trained with them, you can get a little bit more maybe out of them, because we've got some unbelievable personalities like in our game, but they're shy. They don't want to do it because they don't want to look like I don't want to look like a dickhead. They don't want to be taken the piss out of and need to be looked after. But I'd love to see those guys get more airtime and be able to get more of it out of them because we've got some good ones that show it in the sheds, but as soon as the camera comes on them, they're a bit shy.
Mate, absolutely could not agree more. Whitey, mate, World Cup's dawning on us very fast. Mate, you got Eddie at the helm. What are we looking for in the Wallabies and what are we going to get?
Yeah, it's coming around quick, eh? Look, I think with Eddie, he's leaving no stone unturned. That's certainly his approach and always has been. He's said a number of times that talent's not the issue, but for some reason we're not winning games. So like he's got a whole heap of sports psychologists in with us and making sure that that whatever's the missing link, we work on it and we're working pretty hard at that. And in terms of play, like he's just smart. Like he's just looking to innovate, play smart. Not we certainly won't be predictable. Backs the boys and backs their talents. Just I guess the top 2 inches that is a bit lacking, and he's got three people working on that side. So it's exciting, but. Mate, there's going to be some hard work in between now and then, and that's exciting too.
He hasn't called you at 3 a.m. yet, has he?
No, a few text messages, but...
Dick pics.
Jeez,
sorry about that. Whitey, I just want to ask you a question, mate, because there's been a lot of chat in regards to it, and you're moving to the Western Force. Looks a lot like it's obviously freeing up a clear pathway for Ryan Lonergan, who obviously is your heir apparent in regards to not just the Brumbies jersey, but potentially the Wallabies. We've seen David Nusafora in Ireland have such great success with centralisation in regards to their system there. And your move to the Force, as I sort of touched on, could maybe look like there is a touch of centralisation or a little bit of tactics in that space there. Was there any... I don't want to say pressure, but was there any sort of conversations coming from Rugby Australia or anyone else in particular that may have helped facilitate that move, or was that ever on the table at all?
No, it wasn't. Like I said, I kind of was kind of just patient around waiting for a contract to come forward and then kind of come to terms that it wasn't going to be the case, and then things developed there once I kind of told Brumbies I was leaving, and then after that, it was kind of a last little Hail Mary thrown, and then that's how it's unfolded. So, look, I'm not opposed to the whole centralisation of things and seeing how it worked in Ireland, but this wasn't the case here. It was just just good fortune really. I've used up all my luck with this one. Look, mate, I'm pretty chuffed.
Mate, you're doing pretty bloody well for yourself. So.
Mate, just a quick two-parter. The first one is I noticed that you've kept spelling your name N-I-C. Do you feel that the blokes that have the name Nicholas with an H, that they put on a K on the end of their name, they're just frauds or they're hiding from something? And the second part is, do you think Bernard Foley didn't hear you when you were yelling, kick the ball, kick the ball, kick the ball? Like pretty loud. Go first one.
Mate, first part, outstanding pickup. And yes, I do. I'm always
fraud, right? Where are they hiding from, right? Adding letters? Come on.
But it's how it started. I think I would have been like year 5 or year 6 or something. And another Nick said to me, I was spelling N-I-C-K, and this other Nick N-I-C goes, why would you spell it with a K? What is it, Nickick? And I was like...
Fair point.
I was like, that's true. And he's like, aren't you Nicholas? Where'd you get the K from? And I was like, yeah. All right. So, all right, mate. And then started going,
Shout out to the original Nick.
Yeah. Nicholas Fulcher.
Where's he now, Whitey? Do you know where he is now?
Yeah, mate, he's still in Maitland. Absolute legend. Still stay in touch.
Is he spelling his name with a K now too?
No, he's NIC.
Good man.
Oh, original.
Second part, Nardi. Nah, mate, not touching that one.
Yeah, NIC, mate.
Exactly.
And finally, Whitey, we do a quick 5 at the end of each interview. So we'll just rush through these. Just first things that come to your mind as we go through. If you could have any other athlete from any other sport in the Wallaby side, who would you have?
Oh, any other athlete in any other sport? Well, they'd have to be come across the rugby. Like straight away, I'm like, oh, someone like LeBron James, but he'd be useless at rugby. So it's like, what league would I bring over? Is that what you're asking me?
It could be anything, mate. You know, Mason Cox, put him in the row from AFL.
Yeah.
Couple of jockeys at 9. Who knows?
Yeah. Can I come back to that one?
Yeah.
What's your career highlight?
Career highlight probably Sydney 2015 against the All Blacks, winning the rugby championship. That was that was pretty good.
Favourite teammate?
Oh, gee whiz, because immediately I just think like, oh, so many people are going to be pissed off.
That's kind of the idea.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. I'll go with Matt Tamua.
And then least favourite?
Oh, don't have one. Awesome.
And then finally, mate, who's been the most influential person in your career?
Geez. Rugby-wise, so again, Matt Brennan, he was like headmaster out of St Greg's, and I was quickly on my way back just to Maitland up in the Hunter Valley, and he reached out to Owen Finnegan, said, mate, why don't you just come have a look at this bloke play against Will Skelton School? And that one phone call, Owen Finnegan, then watched me play and said to my mum, would Nick like to come down and be like the 11th string 9 at the Brumbies? And bloody hell, yeah, I would. Mate, that one moment from Matt Brennan, I still stay in touch, and he's been a big supporter of mine. I've got so many, but if I had to just down to one, my time at St Greg's and his influence changed my life.
That's awesome.
Absolutely awesome. Well, mate, Whitey, thanks so much for joining us, mate. It's been an absolutely awesome career to date. Obviously, you're setting a new path out there in WA, but you've got a World Cup you've got to win for the boys by the end of this year. So all the best with it, mate. We'll be cheering you on from here. But thanks for joining us, brother.
No, thanks for having me, and love your content, guys. Appreciate it. Sorry I left you high and dry for a week, but I can't get there.
Oh, look, to be honest, I'm used to it. Whitey. Nick White, everybody. Round of applause. Cheers, Whitey. Thanks, brother. Absolutely awesome. What a bloody legend, man. Nick White. Good gas.
The white ant.
I've got
the white ant, we used to call him.
The white ant.
Yeah.
What about Big Darcy's pickup? That was outstanding.
That was good gas.
He didn't answer the Bernard Foley.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think I know the answer.
Yeah, I was tempted to be like, pussy. But I didn't.
No,
I
man,
held
what a
my
legend.
tongue.
What a legend.
Just very shortly, only in a few minutes, Bella Mckenzie's going to be jumping on. We're going to have a very special guest shortly. But before we do, Quirky, you had some good news, a good news story that you wanted to give a little bit of love to.
Yeah, always love a good news story. Mate, I just wanted to shout out to the Wynnum Bugs. You know, obviously we've got our big clubs around here in Brisbane in the Premier League here. And just wanted to shout out to Wynnum Bugs. They had the boys in green stay at their place for a little bit, looking a place to train. And, mate, the Wynnum Bugs opened their arms up to all the boys after Anzac Day. Looking for a team to train against. That's all they were looking for, was a free field and a free team just to have a posed run. Mate, and the Wynnum Bugs just put it all on.
Obliged.
Yep, barbecue, beers, team to run in, live scrums, and they did about 30 minutes live stuff with the boys and then barbecue and beers after. So, you know, just a huge shout out to them. Like, you know, they didn't have to do that, but they did. They put their hands up for it, and I think there needs to be a little bit more of it. I think
Bloody
I've got
oath.
some photos and a few things, but, mate, absolutely outstanding by them.
Mate,
Huge.
I love the Bugs. They are absolutely red hot. Now, in a couple of minutes, we're going to be getting Bella Mckenzie all the way from London on the blower. But in the meantime, I touched on it very early on, and I am very, very happy and very proud to announce that we are actually going to have a full-time panellist joining us from here on out. A very special announcement. And look, you'd have to be an idiot not to realise who it's going to be. After her debut last week where she absolutely tore the boys to shreds, we had to get her on full-time. And all the way from Wallaroos camp joining us, it's Cobber, Annabelle Cody. Cobber, how you doing, mate?
Lads, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're living the dream. Cobber.
Yep.
Full-time panellist on the PAC Rugby show. Would you say, if you could go back to Dow's Fast Five last week, you'd say this is your career highlight?
Definitely. No take-backs, though, so you're stuck with me now, but I'm excited to join the panel.
First day on the job and you're not even here. What's up?
Yeah, sorry, I've got a few commitments.
All right, I will let it slip.
Sounds like we've got a Freeney situation on here.
Don't compare me.
You're going cold on me too, are you?
That's it, I quit.
A Freeney situation. But Cobber, obviously in Wallaroo's camp, how's it going down there?
Yeah, it's really good. It's really fun. It's obviously a new look squad, so a fair few new faces, but we're all meshing together really well and excited to see what we put on display this weekend.
And a new Wallaroos captain, Piper Duck. Talk us through that. Pretty outstanding news.
Yeah, it was really exciting. Obviously, Shannon Pazza, she's hanging up the ASICS runners, one of her favourites.
The career savers we've covered there.
I would say boots, but that woman's always in ASICS runners, so she's a walking campaign. But yeah, no, she's had an illustrious career, and Piper is obviously at the ripe old age of 22, and she has a lot to learn, but at the same time, she already possesses several qualities that a leader should have. So yeah, it's a really exciting time in Wallaroos camp.
Bloody oath. Well, Cobber, while we've got you, we'll keep you on the blower because joining us all the way from sunny old England, former Wallaroos teammate of yours and absolutely chopping up for Harlequins over in the Premiership, it's Bella Mckenzie. Bella, how you doing? Round of applause for Bella.
Hi, boys. Hi, Annabelle. Thanks for having me on.
No, you're my... That was a bit strange.
So funny.
Alrighty. Bella, we wanted to get you on, obviously, because Wallaroos camp is absolutely blowing up at the moment. But yourself, you're over there at the age of 24 playing over in the Premiership, which is by far probably the greatest and best domestic competition in the world. You debuted for the Wallaroos, at the age of 20. I mean, in the space of 4 or 5 years, look at where you are. Did you ever expect to sort of find yourself in this situation?
Not particularly. I always thought I'd eventually go to NRLW or something like that. But no, I'm really happy I've stayed in rugby and moved over to England and playing for the Harlequins now. So, yeah, good times.
Well, that's the thing, obviously we do have I don't think we drop the L word here a lot, but the league path as well, but stick in a union as much as we can. Was that something always on your radar, was to represent your country?
Yeah, definitely. Ever since I was a young girl, I always wanted to play for Australia, and all my teachers in primary school used to harp on that I would always just say I wanted to play for Australia and things like that. So, yeah, pretty surreal that I debuted 2019, and yeah, here I am.
Talk to us about your current environment. Obviously, playing for Harlequins over there in the Allianz Premier 15s. What's it like over there? You know what I mean? How's it been? The professionalism is obviously, a lot higher over there. Talk us through that.
Well, it's a bit of a different world. Katie and I came over here in the middle of winter and was nearly on the first flight home after the first training. That's how bloody cold it was. But no, it's a really good environment, a really great organisation, Harlequins, and yeah, like you said, Prem 15's probably the best league in the world at the minute for women's 15s rugby. So yeah, I'm really happy where I am, and yeah, hopefully the other leagues and unions can start to catch up and make it more, like that I can stay home in Oz and play rugby, I guess.
You just touched on that. You played in Super W over here. Super Rugby over in New Zealand, and now in the Premiership. What, how do you compare all three of them in, positives and negatives?
Yeah, Super W and OPEC is probably similar, like the fast style of running rugby, how the Kiwis and Aussies like to play. And then over here, it's probably more set piece focused, which you can see at the World Cup. The European teams like France and England probably doing the best because they have the strongest set piece and their backs can play off that. So not too many negatives, I guess. They're all good in their ways. But yeah, as you were saying before, the professionalism over here and the caliber of players, I guess, because you have probably the best players in the world playing here with the likes of Canadians and Americans as well, that majority play in this comp. So yeah, it's a good comp.
Love it.
Hell yeah. Cobber? No? All right.
Anything to add, Annabelle? How was your time at Loughborough?
No, not yet. I've got a question for the end.
Brilliant.
Making
Run
demands
smoothly.
already. Okay.
You call the shots, Cobb.
This is working out well.
But thank you all for input. How much you paying her? Because that input was absolutely horrible.
Here we go.
Keep the grilling. What else? Annabelle, what do you got to say about that? Come on.
No, I got nothing.
I'll say it at the end. Okay.
Sweet. Bella, looks like you might be the next full-time panelist on the PAC Rugby show. But Cobber actually touched on it last week, the professionalism in our current environment. Can you help us understand what they're doing in the UK that we necessarily may not be doing here in Australia, or things that we could be doing here in Australia a lot better?
I think the fact we play 19 rounds of rugby and then a final series. So I've still got like 3 more round games and then finals. And Super W started mid-season. So it's like, 6 to 8 weeks of Super W. But here you're kind of playing eight months year round.
Yeah.
So I guess they just play more rugby. So they spend more time together as a team. They have more England camps, more France camps, Scotland, Wales, things like that. So yeah, it's just time together. And
How have you found your body? How have you found your body? Has your body gotten used to that kind of stuff? Because that's a huge jump. Like you said, Super W, 6 rounds, and then you're going up to 19 games. That's a massive jump.
Yeah, it is, especially after the World Cup. I probably had 10 days off and then straight over here. They rested me the first game, but yeah, I've kind of played every minute, I guess, since then. So I've had a few little niggles. I'm not going to complain because everyone thinks I'm such a whinger, but my body's fine. I'm just a bit of a carry-on. But yeah. No, it's been a bit of a spike, but having that 6 weeks off, I don't know how those England girls go and play test matches and then come straight back into Prem. But I guess their bodies are used to it. So first year and got the old shin splints back and sore knee, sore back, and I'm only 24, but can't complain.
Is shin splints real?
Shin splints.
Are you still growing?
We have a theory that shin splints are just some people make up. They don't do fitness.
Yeah,
you can't see it.
They're sore, and then one day you wake up and they're not sore.
That's it. I love it. When fitness is over on a Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
I'm
Cobber,
fine by Thursday. Captain's run, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'll be good for that.
Work smarter, not harder. Cobber, have you got a question?
Yeah, I've got one now.
Nice.
Just thought of one. So, Bella, apart from being an amazing footy player and even better person off the field, I'm just wondering, you've obviously probably been poached by a few NRLW clubs. So what's made you stay loyal to rugby?
Well, I don't know. Playing with people like you, Annabelle, it's probably been the highlight of my career so far.
They're back on again.
That's actually the nicest thing Annabelle's ever said to me. So
that's not
Can
true.
we
It's because it was written on a piece of paper.
Yeah, thanks for sending that through, boys.
I don't know. I think just rugby is. Whose laugh was that? No, I don't know. Rugby's just a global sport, like rugby league's played in the east coast of Australia, and I mean, I get to kind of travel the world and been all over the place now with rugby union. So, and just like the technical side of it, I think you can't match that in rugby league. There's just so much that goes into review and preview, and then playing the actual game. So yeah, it's just more skillful. It's more fun to play, and I think it's better suited for my skills, I guess.
So if Jamie Soward was to get on the phone tonight and say, Bella, we need you at the Dragons, we'll offer you anything, would you do it?
No, money's not a motivator for me.
That was way too long a pause.
Look out the window.
But the Jamie Soward poster in the background.
The Jamie Soward headgear. Yeah, the Dragons pajamas I used to wear when I was 5 years old. So. Risk it all. Take me.
Risk it all, man.
No, I
Can't with your laugh.
I don't know whose laugh that is, but it's killing me. No, I'd stay in rugby. 2025, a few more World Cups, and then, see what happens then.
Awesome. Good answer.
Thanks, amazing person.
I know we're jumping all around, but onto the serious stuff. So, obviously, when you're back in Australia, we spoke to Cobber, and obviously, balancing in between being a professional rugby player is a hard enough thing as well. But you worked for Whatability as an aged care worker, so obviously caring for people with autism. So, can you tell us a little bit more about it? And how did you manage to balance everything? That's tough work within itself, and we always admire everyone that gives their time helping out in that area. So did you find that hard to balance, obviously, with the way that the women's Super Rugby and rugby professionally is going?
No, not really. So I worked with Whatability for about 2.5 years, and I mainly worked with this boy, Sammy, who's like the love of my life. Everyone hears me go on about him. I even have his name tatted on me. But no, it wasn't hard at all. It was probably more rewarding in that sense. And the hours were really good, so like 9 to 4, and then you'd head off to training at 5 p.m. So yeah, it was such an amazing job, and Whatability is an amazing company, and they're doing amazing things for people with disability and everything in that sector. So
and that's huge. And we really commemorate the work. And as you said, work is everyone says it's really hard, but as you said, your pure love for that and for Sammy, and then going to something else you love. That's pretty good start at 24 for sure.
And just following on from that, so I guess we understand how it works here in regards to the balancing of the female game, working and going to training. What about over there? Are you working at the same time, or are you fully professional? How does that environment work?
Yeah, so I'm semi-professional over here as well. So I just started doing some shifts with a company called Right at Home. It's like more aged care at home work with the elderly, which is really nice. But yeah, so we go into training about 2 p.m. and get home about 9 p.m. So it's not that professional, but we have professional, like the England, Scotland girls that are fully professional. So it's just, we're obviously over here still balancing the 9 to 5 people and trying to cater for everyone as well, because there is a bit of a gap here in the professional and the working, I would say.
Do you have to source that individually, or is that something that part of you going over to the Quins was sort of pre-organised with their connections, and you're in the healthcare field, and then you went over and they aligned you with them, or did you have to do your own digging, grab your shovel and get moving?
Yeah, Dale dug a hole. No, I found out on my own, because I wasn't doing anything, and then I was just wasting so much of my day because we don't start till 2. So I just wanted to be doing something for myself and to get out of the house, I guess. I found that on my own, and it's such a cool company with all the elderly. So it's a bit different to disability, but it's really rewarding as well in that aspect.
Quirky, you guys just used to play PlayStation or whatever and wait for training to pop in, didn't you? Back in the days.
Yeah. I don't own a PlayStation, but I used to just sit and look at the wall for a bit. And I used to hang out in Domino's car parks and then get off. We went to training. So you're ahead of me, mate. I'd give you that. Yeah. You're ahead of me. You're definitely an out-of-the-box thinker. I was sort of in the box, the pizza box, more thinker.
Well, I've definitely been into the pizza boxes whilst I've been over here. But
yeah, you're looking fit.
Happens to the best.
Not much else you can do in winter.
No. Winter coat.
Chicken
Gotta
nuggets
love it.
and sweet potato chips,
Oh yeah.
I'll go.
You're up, big fat
Wait, I'll
ass.
go. I guess. I was waiting for Annabelle to go. No, all right.
I'll take the next one.
Oh, okay. How far off are we from a fully professional setup here in Australia, do you reckon?
Not too far. I think with the new contracts coming out from RA, it's only going to get better and make it more enticing for rugby players to stay in rugby and stay in Oz. So, yeah, I don't think it's too far off. And I know Super W this year, all the clubs paid their players, I'm pretty sure, which is unreal for the first time. So, yeah, I don't think it's too far off. And the way Aussie rugby is played, I think we have one of the best attacking teams in Wallaroos. It's just, getting that set piece right, and defence, lowering the body height and not getting 5 yellow cards a game. But I don't think we're too far behind in that aspect. I would say we have some of the best attacking rugby players in the world, and that's coming from someone who's seen a lot of, different styles of rugby played with the Kiwis and now the English. So we're not too far behind.
Nice. Okay, I'll take this next one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Nice,
Yeah.
Robbo.
Radio silence again.
Like Jamie.
That
There she was.
already
Leave
dried
that
up.
hanging.
Anyway, so just in saying that, just with the contracts and where the game's going, where do you see yourself personally in the next 3 to 5 years?
I don't know. Back in Oz, hopefully. Settled back into Sydney, into that double bay lifestyle. But no, I don't know.
Will mummy and daddy pay for your car?
Mummy and daddy are
this is
watching right now.
Mummy and daddy?
No, it's okay. Mummy and daddy are on the live stream right now, so you gotta ask them. But no, I'd love to be back playing in Oz. You know, got a home World Cup 2029, and I think with the contracts and everything, it's only going to go from strength to strength. And I don't see myself permanently living in the UK. I don't think my paleness is that attractive, or when my hair goes brown, but all good. Mate, you two boys can't burn over there. You would die.
Hey.
I don't know. It looks like they're burning us lights here in the studio.
I'm so hot. I'm burning under this light. I got burnt last night during my bed. I got burnt in my bed last night. Inside. Be careful. Be careful.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Mckenzie, if you are in the watching, just answer that question in the comments below. Let us know if you will be spotting Bella's rent while she moves back to Double Bay. But before Dale goes into his Fast Five, Bella, obviously Wallaroos squad was announced last week. Yourself and the other UK-based players weren't considered, at least for this Fijiana test. Can we expect to see you back on our shores? Have you heard from Rugby Australia in regards to potentially coming back for the Black Ferns game out at Reddy Dolphins Stadium, or can we expect to see you in Wallaby Gold this year?
Yeah, definitely. Our season ends here. The finals on the 24th of June, so hopefully we don't make finals. But no, just kidding.
Lucky no one watches this.
Hopefully we don't have the Queen's GM
No,
on here.
I'm just kidding. No, just kidding. Hey, Billy Millard, you're good. No. My contract ends in June, so I'll be home. I'll be on that first flight out of here and hopefully get picked for Wallaroos. So that's that.
Awesome.
We try not to swear on here, Bella, but fuck yeah. Sorry.
I don't know. Annabella's got a new mate at 10, so might not have a spot for me.
Yeah,
I heard that. She screen recorded it and sent it to me personally. It was unreal.
I'm up. Keep you on your toes.
Now,
Hey Siri, play favourite mistake by Giveon.
So Dale's Fast Five. Let's get that going.
so we do a Fast Five at the end of each interview. So just 5 quick questions. Answer them as quick as possible. Annabelle really struggled to answer them quickly, so let's jump.
That doesn't surprise me.
Like this, shoes and socks. God, you annoy me.
Frosty on the end of this call.
If you could have any other athlete from any other sport in your Wallaroo side to play with, who would you have? Who do you think would make a good rugby player? Yeah.
Maybe like what's that CrossFit chick's name? Tia?
Oh yeah.
Claire
Toomey.
Toomey.
Yeah.
Maybe her in the back row or something.
Yeah,
So like she'd be like a little nugget getting around the field.
Good one.
I like that. It's a good one.
I don't watch CrossFit, but
it's okay if you do.
It's not. We don't think it's a cult.
You're going to be shy there, Bella. We don't mind.
It's not a cult. We're all good
I
with
mention
it.
anyone from rugby league, but
What's your career highlight so far?
probably debuting for Wallaroos in 2019 and having my mum and dad in the stands. Just thought I'd drop their names in again, so back in the good books.
Paying the rent.
Might even get a flight.
Yeah, paying the rent.
Favorite teammate?
Over here, like the Quins?
Just in general.
Let's do
Or
both.
Wallaroos?
Let's do Wallaroos.
Oh,
and
in
Quins.
general. Okay, Quins, I'm going to say There's this girl, Amy Cocaine. She's a hooker from the England
Wait, what?
Red Rose hooker.
What's her
She's
name?
Amy Cocaine. Why are you laughing?
No, it's just one of the best last names I've ever heard. But
Bloody
yeah,
oath. Let's just say she's my new favourite
We
player.
made a sign for her. We love Cocaine at one of the England games. She's my favourite player. Not for that reason, but she's a good egg. So,
so good.
I'd say her.
That's sick.
And then Wallaroos, I'm going to have to say maybe Maya Stewart.
This is awkward.
The old best mate.
Someone
Royal
else on
Street.
the call as well.
I reckon I know.
That's not
My
on the
favourite
phone call.
forward.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
I reckon I know the answer.
Okay,
to
my
this one.
favourite forward would be not Horse, because everyone expects me to say that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with,
Bog, Brady O'Gorman.
I don't know. Yeah, Brady,
They're all
yeah, my
watching.
Rooms. That's my Rooms. Can't forget her. Hi, Rooms. Miss you.
Tough guy.
But yeah, probably Brady.
What about your least favorite?
Annabelle, you're up there as well. You're up there.
Thanks.
Least favourite, probably Bessie. Would have to be my least favourite. Such carry on. My least favourite Quins. I'm gonna say who annoys me?
Seems like
don't
everyone.
necessarily-
Everyone actually annoys me, so I don't know, I don't have a least favourite.
Okay.
I don't have a least favourite
Liar.
as of yet. Who is it then, Annabelle?
No, I can't say it live on air. It's too much.
Can't disclose that. Anyways,
And then tell me who's been the most
any
influential
more questions?
most influential person in your career.
I'm going to say my family friend, Amanda Chill. She convinced my mother to let me play rugby league when I was little. So, yeah, I would say her. And, she always messages me and sends me old videos of me playing rugby league when I was about 6 foot and the boys were about 4 foot. So, yeah, I would say her, Amanda Chill. And then, in rugby, I would say I had my first sevens coach, Ron Davies. He was pretty influential and got me into the whole sevens, 15s pathway. So probably be lost to rugby league if it wasn't for him.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
Well, Bella, thanks so much for calling in. I know it's early in the morning over there in the UK, so we really appreciate you giving us your time. But all the best for the rest of the season in the Quins. Look, this sounds a bit shit, but hopefully you don't make the finals. And we'll see you at Redcliffe at the back end of June 29th.
Yeah, see you there with Uncle Wayne. All good.
Hell
Thanks,
yeah. Fins up,
Fins up,
baby.
fins
All
up.
right, Bella Mckenzie, everybody. Round of applause. Bella Mckenzie. That was absolutely awesome. That was bloody awesome. She's bloody good gas. Cobb, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, hell yeah, Cobber. How good was that? Being able to call all the
That was
way
pretty
into the UK, mate.
Yeah.
But Cobber, just while we've got you, how are you girls looking for this weekend?
We're looking pretty good. I obviously can't give too much away. I've been briefed, but I'm just saying there could be a switch up in the centres. Horse Robinson, she's been kicking, she's been goosing, and she's looking pretty good in the centres. So the team list should come out this week and be a few surprises here and there, but we're red hot and we're ready to go.
Imagine seeing Horse at 12. That'd be good gas, eh?
She's running off C. Smith, actually. It's been intensive training, but yeah, she's hitting those holes.
That's so bloody good. Well, Cobber, we won't keep you too much longer. We know you've had a big day with the media commitments and obviously a few days out from the Wallaroos test with Fijiana, but awesome to have you on board full time. And can we expect you in studio next week?
You definitely can. I'll be here. Can't wait.
Yeah, Cobber! All right, Cobber, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it. We can't wait to see you next week and all the best for this weekend.
Thanks, lads. See you later.
All right,
well,
cheers,
Cobber.
Cobber. Round of
Good
applause
bin.
for Cobber
Good
as
bin.
well. Cobber is such a legend, man.
How good at it? I heard about 5 nicknames in that thing. I heard cocaine, bog, horse. Does the female rugby players have better nicknames than the blokes?
Emma Chill.
Emma Chill got me into footy. I was just like,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
It's like Grace
Huge.
Cocaine. And it's like, whoa. It's like, what? Is that a weird name? Like, yes. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, cocaine signs all through the stadium. I was just, so it caught me off guard.
Bloody good gas. Oh, man. I am Bella Mckenzie is an absolute hero, and she's an absolute gun. So I am fizzing at the bunghole at the thought of her being back for that game up at Redcliffe. So
I'd be disappointing for her and the Quins, but
who cares? All right, Big Fat Das. What's doing with the Battlers bench this week, mate?
Got nothing. No. We got something. I've been getting a little bit fancy with my editing app on my phone, and I've done an. It's the first one. We J-Ball, you and I went out to West. Huh? Yeah. And went out to West, and we thought we'd do a burger review, and I also did an intro for it. And let's just watch the intro to start with. This is the new intro I've got for Big Fat Das's burger review. Okay. I've done some quick edits here. Wait, this one on the poll. Wait, coming up. Wait, it goes up with him. See that? Yeah. So that's just something I whipped together. But actually, Zachy, just roll the burger review.
Burger review time. Big Fat Das here. We're down here at West Bulldogs. I don't know how to start. I was handed a brown paper bag and what I assume is a burger. I had to pay for my sauce. It's not looking good to start off with. Let's be honest. So guys, this is okay. Comes out in the brown paper. I'll plop on my sauce. It's already got some form of onion and chutney thing going on. What else do we got? A diagonal cut piece of cheese. Not a full slice. Points deduction. Okay. Yeah, and they have browned the bun, J-Ball. So that's something. I'll put my brown paper bag for my beers later. A try to the Tigers. That's not good either. That'll be points down. Okay. The size in the hand is good. I'm not a big fan of the tall, like, those really tall ones that they come out with like a kebab stick, and you're like, well, if the structural integrity isn't there, then why are you giving the burger out? It's cold as It's oh man. You give it a taste, J-Ball. Yeah, am I right? Yeah. Yeah, not much chop. Which is a shame, man. But when you hand people a burger in a brown paper bag that's already sitting up on a cooling rack. Okay, so North 4.2 came out solid. Brioche, fresh, whack it on a thing. Choose your own adventure with the sauce. Didn't have to pay for it. Oh. 3.1. 2.9, you right, J-Ball? You gave me that face going, really? 2.9. I love doggies. But not this burger. Burger review.
If you didn't notice some of my edits that I put in there, pretty seamless. They're pretty jarring, actually. So as it stands, quirky. We have the Northies burger out at Norths, 4.2.
4.2 out of 5.
On a brioche, fresh, no bacon. Had to deduct something off it. They promised bacon, no bacon. But anyway, and then we've got West at 2.9 and Jeeps on a flat 0 because they
didn't give you.
I paid for a token and then they shut the roller door on me. So there's a real big asterisk, a real written
Mate,
in
that's
red
good
crayon.
for the doggies, man. They're killing it.
What do you mean?
They're not last.
That's true. That's true. Technicality, J-Ball.
They very well could be, because, mate, you were very generous with your scores.
No, no, you kind of looked at me going, I saw your moustache go, No, that one. Mate, and then actually, J-Ball, you sent me a picture of a bloke playing in the footy maybe last weekend, and just some of his haircut. And I don't know if you knew this, but we've got we've been running a Battler's Bench barbershop, and this is just something that happened over the weekend. Welcome to Battler's Bench Barber. How can I help you? You want a haircut that screams Sydney rugby has more culture than Brisbane rugby? And you play for Manly? Well, I'll do it. But don't blame me if it looks terrible.
Why am I looking at you?
Look at that.
You're a picture
Look at his
in a
marlins.
frame.
Where'd you find that picture, J-Ball?
On the Marlins social media page.
That was on their page.
I think
They're
it's from
promoting
about
that.
20 years ago.
Oh, well, they should bring it back.
They should
Or
bring
leave it.
back.
I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But what a head. And speaking of what a head, we have the fourth video, part 2. I hit it, Zach. Been in Perth for a while now. What is the perfect date night in Perth?
Oh,
Where do you go, mate?
mate, I'm a bit of an introvert. I don't really get out. Some would say Scarborough Beach.
There we go.
Just overlooking the hill and watching the sunset.
Yep.
Bit of fishing chips. I've just heard some.
Just as rumours.
Rumours. Some of the young boys here always go on a few dates. Won't name Shaman. Maybe some back in Perth are still there that are continuing on that dating life. But yes, I've heard.
Oh, I love it.
The cliche would be like the sunset, just over the water. But to be honest,
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
maybe a little going to Northbridge underground, little Chinese place or something.
You can't go past the sunset in summer. Cottesloe Beach, a little picnic rug.
Do you guys all go together? You guys all take your dates there at the same time?
No, definitely not. A lot of the boys live in Scarborough, so you got to get out of area.
That's
I
why
reckon.
you keep in Scarborough. Okay.
Yeah. But if you go down to Sunset Hill there on a Tuesday night, day off Wednesday, I'm sure you'll see Big Georgie Pullman or Bowen Abra down there.
Sunset, beer and beach, can't go past it.
It's all about the sunset for you boys.
West is best.
West is best. Last question, mate. Jeremy Thrush has officially announced his retirement again. Mate, rumours are that his heel problem was actually because he had gout. Any truth to that rumour, mate?
No, Thrushy, mate. No, not a bad word to say about Thrush, mate. Whatever you see is true, and hopefully he can just stay retired, to be honest. No, joking. No, but it was a great addition to us when we needed him, and he was kind of a SOS for us, and you've seen what he did to those Rebels boys, and broke their heart over in Perth. But it was good to get the old bull back.
The old bull back?
Yeah.
Mate, I'm a year older than him, but not that old, right?
No comment. No comment. Thrushy,
I'll take that.
Yeah, Thrush is a hell of a man. Did a solid for the boys. Yeah, don't want to be throwing him under the bus.
Hell of a man. Because you have to get a bigger bus. It'll ruin the bus. I've heard rumours from some of the guys that in the attacking 22, instead of it being called the red zone, it's called the crone zone. Is there any truth to those rumours?
I'm willing to change it to that. I don't use red, but no, it should be. Yeah, I'm happy to run with it.
And when you call all the boys in for a team meeting, you say, bring in my cronies. Right?
Hey, well, it'll work. The number one rule is don't turn it over first phase in that zone then. It'll be our number one.
It's a tough rule, mate.
The chromosome. The chromosome.
Yeah, and he goes, everyone in, bring all my cronies in, right? And then, is there any truth to that rumour, mate?
The chromosome.
Crone zone.
Can't confirm or deny.
It's a kill zone, isn't it?
I'm not sure actually. It's called the kill zone, so yeah, definitely the crone zone.
The kill
I
zone.
reckon.
Okay, here we go.
I can see why he's calling it the crone zone.
And then we had one more. Fucking forgotten it, mate. I've lost it. Bloody lost it.
All good.
That's it. I did that like 3 times.
King of the segue.
Because I had speaking of segue, no, because I had like 5 things. And all I got to do is remember those couple of things. Every time I'm like, is there? I don't know. And then just panic. Flower fingers like, I was nervous too. And I'm like, yeah, sorry. That's because I don't know. I'm not good at this. I'm like, fuck, either am I, mate.
The
The pressure handshake was all time. How you just turned and just give me your hand. We're
Away
done
from the
here.
camera. He's still there, Tino. He's a big fella.
We're done here.
But that was Battler's Bench. J-Bor and I actually went out to West Ladies Day and got in the tent there and had a bit of a chat. So we might be
we'll have
some of
that
coming
footage
up
next week. Yeah.
So
big promises.
Are you heading down to Brothers this Saturday? Brothers vs West Burger Review.
I'm going to the Brookie show.
I might try to get down there. I might try
here
to
we
get
go.
down there and give it a snake.
Just down the road from you.
Yeah, it is. But I'm actually
Off
not
Hamilton Hill.
Yeah. I'm living in the old man's tent there, out the front of someone's house that I say it's mine. Yeah, I could head down. I'm not actually allowed at Brothers. I played there twice. I think I got red and yellow carded, so not really allowed in. And as I said, I'm always happy to drive straight past Crosby into the tunnel, straight to Bottomley Park to East. I'll pay the $8.98 it is here at the Clem at the moment. So, but I could make an appearance. But
Maybe
there might be burgers and a few fists thrown throughout the day. So, if you want me out there, it could be on.
Hell yeah. Let's tee that up at Quirky because that'll be red hot. All right. Very quickly, let's try and round this out. Let's just go through to our red hot takes for this weekend. Big Fat Dars, plenty of footy coming up. What do you got? You've been on fire with the wildfires.
You just ruined it for me. Wildfires beat Norths. That was top of the table. Norths dropped from second all the way down to fifth or sixth or something. Put Gordon up to second. I reckon Sydney Uni, who've been battling last couple of weeks, are going to knock. They're playing against Gordon this week, 6th versus 2nd, and I reckon Sydney Uni going to get them.
Loose.
They need to start kicking into gear, right? Those uni nerds.
Those bloody uni nerds, mate. Yeah, that'd be absolutely massive. Be a huge game otherwise. Dow, your red hot take?
It's going to be wet this weekend in Queensland.
Oh, weather prediction.
Yeah.
Red hot. Quickie?
I'm
well, I'm not going to go to the game.
Oh, it's going to be wet.
I'm backing,
Bring your umbrella.
I'm backing North to topple UQ at home.
That'd be a battler UQ season, right?
Yeah.
I would love to see it, though.
Oh, yeah.
I got to admit, when they beat Sunnybank the other day on their socials, and this sounds rude, I don't mean it to come across that way.
Don't say it. Quickie, you go.
But they sung their team song, and I honestly don't recall having ever heard it. It's pretty cool. It's actually not a bad song. It's like, the slaughter has begun, shit like that. I was like, yeah, rip in. I wouldn't know what else it sounds like, but it was good to hear them sing the team song, so hopefully they can do it for the second time this season, Dow.
Love it.
Huge. And I'm jumping across the super. We've obviously got the Jura versus Tars. So, mate, I love watching those blokes play. That is all time. And I might even chuck in another one with the, obviously, Wallaroos and Fiji are going to go head-to-head as well. So, as much as I want to back our co-host, I think it might be a Fiji whitewash.
Fiji double.
Yeah, right. I think they'll be fizzing after they had the win up north, and then I think it might just carry down.
Playing together as well, yeah.
You know, if they're all going together. That's the village mentality, and I think it might be a show on the weekend.
That'll be absolutely red hot. Hopefully it doesn't come to fruition.
I don't want any of it to come to fruition, but
I wanted it, right?
Very much very well could happen. All right, now it's time for our rugby. Just to round things out, show a bit of love to the players out there, absolutely killing it. Big Fat Dars, yours, Artie Savia.
He is just ruthless, right? All 80 minutes, even in the 79th minute, he was still trying to run over blokes. You know what I mean? Like, he's an All Black. He's just, you know what I mean? He doesn't need to spend the whole game on the park just absolutely trying to belt blokes. And, he could have put his hand up going, oh, yeah, just sub me off. But chose not to, unfortunately, for Moana. He was just going. And this is all leading up to that All Black side getting picked, and he's just put his hand up.
Oh, mate, he's been phenomenal this year, man.
He's so, powerful and aggressive, right? He's fit as.
He is fit as. Dow, your rugby from the weekend just gone.
I've gone to the Queensland Reds.
Cop out.
As a collective.
How's the weather? Right.
I just think it's bigger than us, you know.
Yep.
And what they've done is not just good for them, but I think it adds some buoyancy to the whole Australian rugby scene. And I think what they did on the weekend was just outstanding. And the defensive effort right from the get-go just put them on top. And some of these tackles late in the game, like he got Liner there, put his body on the line, and then finally McCrighton, I think it's Ryan Smith who ended up saving the game late, but they were just outstanding. And you know, like Tate McDermott said, you know, they defended like a pack of dogs, and they certainly did. So they were outstanding.
Also down at East was Seru Uru, Rongers. just sitting there watching the footy, and like they didn't.
Hunter Paisami was
he was there with his kid, and like they didn't need to be there at club footy. You know, like, no one was expecting them to go, and they were just sitting up there. And
Sarah was running water.
He was wearing his full West kit. I think he came up in his civvies, and Brownie just threw whatever he could at him. Former East bloke put all his West up. I love it.
Quirky, your rugby, you went with David Harvilli from the Satyrs.
Mate, I love this bloke. I think like he's probably one of the most complete players going out and about, like just from across the park, and you can just see here with a bit of footage, like just look, that's just flair across the board, honestly. And I think he's been in and out of the All Blacks, and that's probably the most hotly contested position in the centres as well. But I think, mate, he's just too consistent at the moment, and like still a young fella and that, but. Like you just look at that; it's got everything. It's got footwork, fan, offload, mate, and he's a solid unit too. So and a good bloke. So yeah, can't go past him for the weekend. He really put it on for him.
Bloody oath, mate. He's been absolutely red hot this season, has David Harvilli. Alrighty, well that rounds out this week's episode of the PAC Rugby Show. It was absolutely chockers and it was absolutely awesome as per usual. Quirky, Dallin, Big Fat Das, absolutely red hot. Big shout out to Cobber and Bella Mckenzie and Nick White for joining us. Saki Boy on the ones and twos from the DoubleTake studios. Couldn't do it without you. In the meantime, enjoy your footy, stay safe, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.